Hello there, Watson here. I've recently completed the Lunar Remastered Collection, so let's talk about it and then talk about the achievements. So with Lunar, I have absolutely no nostalgia for this game. A lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for it. They played it growing up, etc, etc. Over in Europe, we didn't get Lunar at all. It never released over here. I think there's a mobile port released at some point that we did get, but other than that, it's never released on consoles over here at all. So this is my first time playing both of these games. And I get that a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for these games. That can change our perception on how we view games in general, how our feelings are towards them and whatnot. So with that being said, we'll talk about Lunar 1 first. So, I enjoyed the story for this game. I quite liked the fact that it was based around Alex becoming the new Dragon Master. I thought that was a pretty good sort of plot device for the plot. It gave a reason for Alex to go off on his journey. And then obviously about a third of the way through ish, Luna gets taken by the big bad, and it ends up being a love story with Alex trying to reconnect with Luna and save her. And then the other characters all having their own little love angles, I guess. Kind of, and they had their own love interest within the party, so and then like the entire plot plays on that quite a lot. Kyle will tend to jump to Jessica's aid whenever she's like really in trouble, but generally acts a bit like big tough macho man. And then there's the dynamic between Mia and Nash, where Nash generally doesn't think he's good enough for Mia, and the game really plays around with the whole love storyline as well between all these characters. The soundtrack was really nice for the game. A lot of it is, I say a lot, there are portions of the track that are properly sung by a singer, and then that's put in. It's not often that games do that for this era, and when it does, it kind of obviously pays off quite a lot. Gameplay wise, wasn't the biggest fan of the way that the action takes place, the actual RPG fights. There was just something that didn't particularly sit right with how the fights were done. I can see it being fine for when it released. Obviously playing it sort of back in the day when there wasn't many different sort of variations on turn-based, and this is like quite a bit different. But for me, playing it now, was kind of a bit like, it's not great. It's kind of not grid-based, but the characters do move around if you tell them to attack and stuff, but you can't move them around freely. And then obviously when there's like area of effect attacks, it kind of attacks all of your characters unless they've moved beforehand by doing a normal attack. I think it probably would have been better if you could have moved the characters around yourself, but it's one of those. But yeah, generally Lunar 1 was pretty good time. I enjoyed it. It not amazing like people make it out to be. I get, as I said, there's a lot of nostalgia for the series, but I don't have that. So for me, it was a run-of-the-mill sort of okay RPG. I don't like putting numbers on ratings and stuff, but like it would be one of those where it was like a solid 7. Like it's It's good, but it's not anything amazing. Having said that, I did have to play the first one twice. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more the second time round when I already sort of knew what I was doing. I knew what to do for various different parts of the game. But yeah, Lunar 2 again is pretty much the same. In this one, each of the different characters have their own sort of motives for being on the quest rather than it just being for love. I can't for the life of me remember the names of any of the characters. That's probably not a good thing. Apart from Lamina. For some reason I remember Lamina. There was quite a lot of the game where one of the characters is you're not able to actually control them. They're controlled by the computer. But I think that's mostly because that character is kind of a little bit OP during that portion of the game, and that's why you can't control them. But other than that, it plays out pretty much the same. Yeah, I had to look it up because I'm absolutely, completely, and utterly, totally can't remember any of the names. So it was Lucia. So Lucia is sort of the other half to the first game's Althena. She's like a god from the Blue Star, and she's come to look for, is it Blue Star or the Silver Star? Blue Star. I'm sure it's Blue Star. She's come to look for Althena, and she's like 1,000 years too late. It's set like 1,000 years after the first game. It was nice to see Null from the first game back in the second game. He's a white dragon, and he's like in his human form during the second game. I think you kind of meet him sort of part way through. It's very sad as well, knowing that he's like lived 1,000 years into the future to see all of this stuff that's going on, and it's like it brings back memories of all the people that he travelled back with like 1,000 years ago, Alex and the rest of the gang. So yeah, you kind of feel a bit for Null, but in general, it pretty much plays out the same-ish. Big Bad comes down and decides that he's going to destroy the world, and it's up to Lucia and the gang to defeat him. Music again, pretty damn good. Same sort of deal with Lunar, and then the general control scheme and stuff is pretty much the same. The one thing that I did find annoying with Lunar 2 was that you're not able to skip through the dialogue quickly. So if you end up with a game over like I did, and then having to replay sections, you can't just skip through the dialogue. You have to wait until all the dialogue's on the screen before you can click it to go on to the next bit of dialogue, whereas the first one you could just skip through. That was a weird choice, but yeah. The Remastered Collection came with various different quality of life stuff as well, allowing you to have triple speed, auto playing dialogue and stuff like that, which was pretty useful. But yeah, let's talk about the achievements. Okay, the achievements. So we start with, can you keep up? Press L1 or L2 to change the battle speed for the first time. Oh, it's not press L1 or L2. What am I talking about? It's Lunar 1 or Lunar 2. You can get it in either game. This is a quality of life update. You can basically just speed up how fast the battles go, which is useful. Use the AI battle commands for the first time. This allows you to auto battle, which is useful. Dragon approved. Clear the White Dragon's Trail. That is story related. Bare-handed bravery for enemies with no weapons. So you just basically unequip your weapons and fight any enemy with that. You never know till you try. Get caught in a treasure chest trap. I think the second dungeon you go to, when you're on your way to visit a witch, some of the treasure chests have got traps in. The real adventure begins. Embark on a new journey, which is story related. Get back on your feet. Had Null revive someone during a battle. So sometimes when your characters are KO'd, Null will revive them randomly. They'll be revived with 1 HP, but it allows them to attack again. Fraud Buster defeated the fake Dragon Master. That is story related. Pack-a-Punch dealt 500 damage in 1 attack. There was a point where Galleon joins the party. I believe you can also do this with Like as well. But Galleon will join the party and you'll go back through some early dungeon areas. And he'll do over 500 damage randomly to something. Hot Spring Connoisseur watched an event at Althena Springs. There are 4 cutscenes that you can get by watching events at Althena Springs. You need a soap item to see these. You need to see all 4 of them, basically. Professional Hunter defeated Chiro for the first time. Chiro is like the metal slime, metal type enemy in the game. It will instantly run away, but it will give you a load of XP if you manage to defeat it, or gold. Can't remember which way it is in these games, but yeah. Defeating 1 will get you an achievement. Open all red treasure chests. So there are various red treasure chests that you find in Lunar 1 that you can't open right away. You need to go and open all of these once you can. Connected Hearts summoned the Blue Dragon Temple. That is story related. It's raining silver, collected a total of 100,000 silver, so I mean that'll come with time. The more enemies you defeat, especially later on, you get more and more gold, more and more silver. So Calm in the Storm, defeat Tempest. That's story related. A new legend, become a Dragon Master. That is story related. Redemption Arc, Nash rejoins the party. Again, story related. Shut it down, stop the grindery. That is story related. True Scales of Power, become a true Dragon Master. Story related once again. Experienced Fighter reached level 50. I think the first playthrough I did, I reached like level 54. Before I finished the game. Crumbling Rain, defeat the Magic Emperor Galleon. That is story related again. A Bromider's Journey, collected all bromides. There are various bromides that you can collect during the game. I think there's 13 of them in Lunar 1. You get them for various different bits and pieces during the game. There is guides online to follow so that you can get them all properly. And then watch the ending for Lunar Silver Story, which is just completing the epilogue. So when I originally played Lunar 1, I did miss an achievement. There is a Rememberizer that you can get, where you have to look at all of the anime scenes in the Rememberizer. I missed 2 of the Spa ones, so I had to replay the entire game, which was fun. So we're on to Lunar 2. Princess of the Blue Star, encountered Lucia. That's story related. Dispel the Nightmare, lift Lucia's curse. That is story related again. Lucky Gambler succeeded in Destiny Dice 5 times. That is... What is the name of the character? Because I can't remember. Ronfar? Was it Ronfar? I think it's Ronfar. Yeah, Ronfar. So Ronfar has an ability so that you can use Destiny Dice, which is one of his abilities. Using it 5 times in battle will get you that achievement. Forgotten Records, so remember of the past is story related. It's mine now, stolen item from an enemy. I think Lamina gets a particular accessory that allows you to steal an attack. The holy city of Pentagulia, arrived at Pentagulia, that is story related. Steering Destiny, obtained the dragon ship Destiny, that is story related. Paving a new path, defeated Lun, is story related. Neo Vane No More, defeated Borgan, story related. Reclaim what was lost, defeat Mari's ID, that is story related, or id, I suppose. Seasoned Warrior reached level 50. End of the Pretender, defeated fake Althena, that is story related. Shocking Revelations, learned the truth of Althena, which is story related. Trial for a True Hero, defeated Galleon, which again is story related. The Power of Humanity, defeated Zophar, which is story related. Defeated Zophar finishes the game, so that's when you get the ending, so watching the ending for Lunar 2. Eternal Blue Hobbyist obtained 10 bromides, so again there's bromides in this game that you have to collect. Reunion Party reunited with all party members. There is an epilogue to the game, and you need to reunite with all the party members in the epilogue to get that one. Sword of Legend, obtained Altheda's sword. Again, it's something that you get during the epilogue. There's various different dungeons that you can do during the epilogue. A lot of these are for doing those dungeons, so like I think this one was one as well. Altheda's sword is one. Obtained the Hero's Talisman. Eternal Blue Collector, obtained all the bromides. Some of the dungeons have bromides in them that you can get as well. Ancient Melodies, obtained Alex's Ocarina. Again, that's one of the epilogue dungeons. Visited all places in memory, echoes of the past. Again, this game has a rememberizer, but you have to go back to the various different areas where you got the anime cutscene to be able to view the anime cutscene. So this is kind of like going back to all places in memory. Ruin Conqueror, defeated all the Guardians, that is story related to the epilogue. Do all the dungeons and stuff and you'll get that. For True Love, watch the true ending for Lunar 2 Eternal Blue, that is for completing the epilogue. And then this is the one that I missed from Lunar 1, so watched all the anime cutscenes available on the Rememberizer. And lastly, Lunar Champ, collected all other achievements, so that would be a platinum trophy if it was a PlayStation game. So yeah, Lunar Remastered Collection. I enjoy playing this game. I'm glad that I actually played it and got a chance to play it. It's very much something that would have been a product of the time. If I'd have played it when I was younger, I would have really enjoyed it and would have got into these games thinking, oh yeah, like I've got to play these. I'd have had like massive nostalgia and stuff for it. But it's one of those where, having not played it when I was younger and then playing it now, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a good RPG. It's got a good story. There's a good soundtrack. It was okay to play. It's a solid game. If you're into RPGs, then like play it. But generally, if you're not into RPGs, I wouldn't go out of my way to recommend it. Obviously, a lot of people will disagree with that, but as I said, like it's not something that I played when I was younger, so it's kind of product of its time, as I said. But yeah, that was the Lunar Remastered Collection review and achievement talk. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.